He's been called football royalty.
Is invaluable.
Be a better quarterback.
The complete wow factor.
This guy can do it all.
I really believe a lot in Arch Manning.
He's waited in the shadows behind Quinn Ewers. He's turned down transfers, ignored the noise, and now it's finally his time. Arch Manning is the new QB1 of the Texas Longhorns, the grandson of Archie, the nephew of Peyton and Eli, and the biggest name college football has seen in a decade is now stepping into the spotlight. But here's the twist. He's not just a name anymore. After flashes of brilliance in 2024, fans and scouts believe he could take over college football in 2025. So do I. So could this really be Arch Manning's breakout year? Let's break it down. Before Arch Manning ever wore the burnt orange, he dominated in green and white. At Isidore Newman High School in New Orleans, he rewrote the record books. In 4 seasons, Manning racked up 8,500 passing yards and 115 touchdowns. Add another 1,200 rushing yards and 25 rushing touchdowns, and you get a staggering almost 10,000 total yards and 140 total touchdowns in his career. That made him the most productive quarterback in Newman history, surpassing even his uncles. He led the team to playoff runs every year, earned 4 first-team All-State honors from the Louisiana Football Coaches Association, and dropped 7 touchdowns in a single game against Pearl River on September 30th, 2022. Yep, 7 touchdowns. He was a national star, ranked as a 5-star recruit and the #1 overall player in the class of 2023. He had offers from Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Clemson, but he chose Texas. That decision shaped everything that followed. Arch's first year in Austin, Texas was quiet. Too quiet for some fans. He sat behind Quinn Ewers and Malik Murphy, only appearing in mop-up duty against Texas Tech in November 2023. He threw 5 passes, completed 2, and then redshirted. But the silence wasn't just on the field. In July 2023, a curious thing happened. EA Sports announced its return to college football gaming with College Football 2025, the video game. Star players were being added to the game. Fans rushed to see Arch Manning's digital likeness on a video game and found nothing. He wasn't in the game. That stirred up some controversy. As the most recognizable name in college football, why would he skip out? Turns out it was intentional. Arch declined to be part of that game, reportedly choosing to wait until he earned his place on the field to be part of the video game. No paycheck, no whirly spotlight, just focus. Fans had mixed reactions. Some praised the maturity, others questioned it, but either way, he made headlines without even touching the ball. And that's been the pattern for Arch Manning. Understated choices with massive impact. While others chased NIL deals and media buzz, Arch Manning has worked in silence. Then things changed fast in year 2. Arch began the season as a backup again, but his first real action came on September 7th against Colorado State. The Longhorns were up 38-0 when Arch stepped in, and he didn't waste a second. He completed 5 passes for 95 yards, threw a touchdown, and ran for another. A week later, against UTSA, the story took off. Quinn Ewers exited early with an abdominal injury, and Arch took over with Texas up 14-0. On his very first play, a 19-yard touchdown strike to DeAndre Moore. 2 plays later, a 67-yard touchdown run. Later in the game, a 75-yard bomb to freshman Ryan Wingo, and by the 4th quarter, another touchdown through the air. By the time he sat, the scoreboard was 56-7. Arch Manning had 223 passing yards, 53 rushing yards, and 5 total touchdowns in one night. He went from backup to breakout, and the awards followed. SEC Freshman of the Week, Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award National Player of the Week, and a spot on the Davey O'Brien Award Green 8 list. Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian didn't wait. On September 19th, he announced Arch as the starter for the next game against Louisiana Monroe. Manning then delivered again. Sharp throws, smart reads, and no panic. Now comes the pressure, the starting job. It's his. Quinn Ewers is gone off to the NFL. The Longhorns are coming off a college football playoff appearance. And standing in the middle of it is Arch Manning, wearing number 16, leading Texas into what could be its most defining season in decades. The 2025 campaign begins with one of the toughest openers in college football, an away game in Columbus against the defending national champions Ohio State on Saturday, August 30th. This is a rematch of the 2024 college football playoff semifinal where the Buckeyes ended Texas's run with a 28-14 win in Arlington. That game didn't feature Arch Manning as the starter, but this one will. There's no easing into the schedule this year. No warm-up games, no mid-tier opponents to build rhythm. It's the biggest test on the biggest stage right out of the gate for Arch Manning. National TV, a primetime slot, millions of eyes watching. For a quarterback stepping into his first season as QB1, the stakes could not be higher. And Manning's challenge isn't just the opponent. Texas is stepping into the 2025 season with a reshuffled roster. Their top 3 receivers from last year are gone. Offensive linemen who protected Ewers for 3 years, multiple starters are off the board. This is a fresh offense, new faces, and unproven chemistry. So now the question isn't whether Arch Manning can succeed, it's whether he can lead an offense in transition and make everyone else better. That's what will separate a good quarterback from a great one. Let's look at the tools he's working with. In 2024, even with limited playing time, Arch completed 61 of 90 passes. That's 67% completion rate, one of the highest in the country for a backup quarterback in Power 5 football. He threw for 939 yards, 9 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions, averaging a stellar 10.4 yards per attempt. And he did it without ever forcing plays, staying composed, efficient, and confident. His passer rating was 184, a number that stacks up with the best starters in the country. But what sets him apart is his ability to stretch the field. Arch Manning's deep ball accuracy in 2024 turned heads. He connected on throws over 40, 50, and even 75 yards, like the one to freshman Ryan Wingo in the blowout against UTSA. His throws are long, on time, and placed where only the receiver can get them down the field. That makes him dangerous at quarterback. And then there's the mobility. This is the secret weapon. At 6'4", 220 pounds, Manning moves better than most quarterbacks his size. In 2024, he ran for 108 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, including a jaw-dropping 67-yard sprint where he outran the secondary and didn't even look back. He finished with 4.3 yards per carry, using his legs not out of desperation, but as a tactical weapon. That dual threat ability forces defenses to stay honest, and that opens up passing lanes. And here's the context that matters. Manning isn't stepping into a broken program. Texas isn't rebuilding. This is a playoff team, a team that's tasted the spotlight and is hungry for more. Despite losing key pieces, Texas still returns plenty of talent on defense and has recruited exceptionally well on offense. So when analysts list breakout candidates for 2025, Arch Manning's name leads the pack. Bleacher Report already named him among their top breakout picks, saying, quote, "There won't be a more scrutinized player or one that will receive more hype in 2025. And it's true. Every throw, every scramble, every win or loss will be dissected, and not just because of who he is, but because of what he could become. Heisman talk? It's early, but not far-fetched. Arch's name is already showing up on Heisman watch lists. If Texas wins early and Manning puts up numbers, he'll be right in the conversation, especially with a schedule that includes top 10 matchups in the SEC. But the hype hasn't come without pushback. Critics continue to question whether Arch Manning has earned the job or if his last name did the work for him. Social media is flooded with the usual noise, accusations of nepotism, privilege, and legacy protection. Some even question why he didn't transfer after sitting for 2 years and where that competitiveness is. Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian has addressed it directly. On a recent podcast, Sark pushed back against those claims, saying that Manning, quote, works harder than anybody in the country and that he's earned every rep. He pointed out that Arch stayed when he could have left, grinded behind the scenes and never asked for attention. Then he proved himself in practice and on game day. That kind of loyalty is rare in the transfer portal era, and NFL scouts have taken notice. Multiple NFL insiders have already noted Manning's maturity, his leadership, his patience. He didn't grab headlines in year one. He didn't chase NIL checks before he proved anything. He took the long route and is now paying off. Off the field, Arch Manning is calm. He's grounded and he is laser focused. He's not chasing celebrity status. He's studying film, building rapport with his teammates, and embracing the pressure. He spent the offseason working on timing with new receivers, improving pre-snap reads, and tightening his footwork under pressure. And his family, they're around, but not overbearing. Peyton and Eli give tips, but they don't interfere. Arch Manning is shaping his own identity. Now the challenging thing is consistency. The Longhorns face a brutal SEC schedule. After Ohio State, they'll face conference opponents like Georgia. There's little room for error, especially for a quarterback. If Arch can stay efficient, protect the ball, and command the huddle, Texas has a real shot to make another playoff run. Now, while Arch waited to shine on the field, his brand is already growing off of it. His NIL valuation, $6.6 million, number one in college football. He's cashing in and curating his own brand and dollars. His first major deal came in 2023 with Panini America, launching an exclusive trading card. That card sold for over $100,000 and all proceeds went to charity. No flashy reveal, just purpose. Now he's expanded that partnership with a full memorabilia collection, signed jerseys and helmets that are selling for $1,000. Autograph photos, $700, and they're selling fast. Red Bull came next. Arch became just the second college football player ever to sign with the energy drink giant. They call it extremely lucrative, and the real power is visibility. Red Bull's marketing machine runs global, and Arch is now part of it. Then came Vuori, the rising apparel brand, one of my favorites. They've signed stars like Livy Dunn and surfer Alana Blanchard. Now they've added a quarterback with star power and a clean image, crispy clean. Uber joined the mix too, along with EA Sports. Yes, Arch will appear in college football 25 if they're skipping the 2023 game. He's made it clear he's earning every deal on his own terms. From record-breaking high school stats to a redshirt freshman year, from sideline patience to viral breakout games, from a Madden controversy to million-dollar NIL deals, Arch Manning's path has been powerful. Now as the 2025 season begins, there is no more waiting. The lights are on, the pressure is high, the Manning name remains front and center, but the question remains, could this be Arch Manning's breakout year in 2025? You decide. Let me know in the comments and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to make sure you never miss an episode of First and 10 with Brenneman.